Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. There we go. There we go. All right. Hey, people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to No Sellouts. No Sellouts. How's it going, my people on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Roku, and the whole crew? Hope you guys feeling all right. Yo. When it rains, it pours, and when trouble comes, it comes in like threes. Isn't that like the old superstition? Well, I'm going to tell you that superstition is pretty accurate when it comes to the Tim Black TV show. Yeah. Like, my water heater went out. And the water heater, acted crazy, man. But the good thing about it, guys, is I'm always working, so I was working down here in the studio when it went out Saturday at around 1 p.m. So thank goodness I'm a hard worker, so I'm able to catch things because I'm actually busy doing my thing. And if I'd have been like out in the streets or at the club or partying or whatever, or just chilling, or just out running errands, I may not have caught it in time. So give it up for the water heater and give it up for Mother Nature and whatever caused that, you know? All right, guys, so check this out. I got a couple of stories. One of them is a video I've already put out. It's on my YouTube channel. I want to encourage everybody, and that means you, to go to my YouTube channel, catch content, videos that I've put out. Also, if you have Roku, I'm on Roku. So, add my show on Roku. Start watching content there, too. If you got it, use it. All right? It's one way you support this program, and I can be found there, so let's make it happen, people. Yeah. I got an announcement, and I'm hoping that people won't take this too badly, but it is what it is. I'm not going to be streaming on Facebook much longer. In fact, today will probably be my last live stream for this show, for my night show or my day shows on Facebook. And the reason is that Facebook has been penalizing me big time, because like my regular viewers, you guys are great. Like you know who I am. You watch my content. When you come through, you see my stuff. You go, okay, that's Tim, and you'll check it out. You know, and if you sit for a couple of minutes and you realize, hey, this isn't what I thought it would be, then you bounce. And you say, okay, maybe this is not the story for me. This is not the topic that I want to check out. You'll leave. But I'm guessing most people who watch my content, they'll stay more than a minute. So what's been happening is people who are new, who don't know who I am, they'll come in and I'll be talking like I'm talking now, and they'll be like, who's this dude talking about? I don't even know what he's talking about. There's nothing going on. There's no planes landing. There's no fighting. There's no one twerking. You know, so they click off. So that's really been killing me on the YouTube algorithm. So it's really making things hard. And as you know, as independent media, I can't afford that. Plus, as many of you know, I've teamed up with Suzanne Murphy to bring a new platform called justinform.com. So I need to start live streaming on justinform.com anyway. And I think that's where I'm going to migrate to. So I'm still going to be on YouTube. I'm going to be on JustinForm. I'm going to post videos on Facebook. You'll be able to find video content. So that way, when you click on a video on Facebook, I'm thinking you'll know what the title is. It'll be about one thing, and you decide if you want to watch that video or not. So that's one of the reasons, some of the changes that's going to be happening, because we have to stay viable. We got to stay doing what we're doing. And frankly, I need Facebook to help me reach more people. And they're not doing that. And they're always censoring and spying anyway. So, like, my live streams, let me just put that on Justin Foreman on YouTube. So, if you got questions about it, if you don't understand, if I didn't make myself clear about why we're doing it, it's just what time it is. It's a change that needs to happen. And you can reach me at tim@timberliketv.com as always for questions. I may not get back right away, but I do get back in touch with you. So feel free to write me. You feel me? Okay. Yeah. Just general house cleaning. General house cleaning. Guys, my sinuses are jacked up, you know. But I am happy to report it's been over a month since I got off the stupid tobacco, right? So give it up for that. It's been over a month. And they say that everything in me is healing, like it's going through this process. So it is what it is. I want to encourage anybody out there who's thinking about quitting to go ahead and quit what you got, Tim Black. A month is not that long. You can still catch up, or you can get started today, and let's do it together and see if we can make ourselves healthier, live a little bit better. So that's the idea. All right, I think that's all for spring cleaning or show cleaning or housekeeping or whatever they call this thing. Let's go to stories. All right, let's go to a couple stories. Now, check this out, guys. I want to talk about Gillum. Andrew Gillum, the Florida gubernatorial candidate there in Florida, and the debate that took place with DeSantis. It was their first debate. And I just want to clear the air about Gillum. Listen, guys. Everyone has to make their decision about what's a good candidate, what's not a good candidate. Everybody gets to decide, right? You get to decide what matters to you in your state. You get to decide what matters to you as a president, what matters to you as a congressperson or a senator. And it even goes a step beyond as sheriffs. We got district people who serve on the local level. All these people that impact our lives, right? So we get to decide what's good for us, what's not good for us, what we will accept, what we will not accept. I've been very critical of Andrew Gillum. I've been very critical because it mattered to me that I no longer heard him talking about Medicare for all. And it mattered to me that some of his associations with certain people really bothered me. A la Debbie Wasserman Schultz, a la Hillary Clinton, a la Cory Booker, like all these people that I was concerned with, that I felt were part of the establishment. And I pride myself on, not really pride myself, that's not the word for it. I just look at people who are willing to go in and change the system. If you're going to go into the lines, then at all. I don't know if Andrew Gillum is there to change the system. But I recognize that there are people that live in Florida. Some of those people that I know and respect and care about and know on a personal level, and there's people I have never met who I care about in Florida as well. And when I look at DeSantis, I don't see someone who I think is going to take care of my people. I don't trust DeSantis taking care of my peeps in Florida, man. That's what it comes down to for me. Now, when you're in my position where you put out content, I'm not saying I impact elections where I sway like large groups of people. I mean, come on, I'm Tim Black. I feel like I'm small. I feel like I'm small in comparison to many others. I'm not connected with any networks. I'm not huge. We don't have that type of push. But I think I have to believe in what I do, and I have to stand by what I do. So that being said, the people that I know in Florida who look at the future of Florida and all the issues, all the obstacles that they have. You know, I've had Tim Canova on this show several times. I've had Stephanie Myers on this show several times. Well, more than once. I interviewed her I've had Elijah Manley on this show. Different people from Florida have come on this show and they've talked about life in Florida and things that need to change in Florida. I'm not saying that Andrew Gillum is going to solve everything, but I am saying that DeSantis, I don't think that Ron DeSantis is a good direction for Florida to take. So in my latest video, I talked about it. And I talked about the debate, and I talked about who I thought was better for Florida. Now, all that being said, I don't live in Florida, so it's not like I'm voting, but I do talk about these races, and I do share my perspective, and I do say, hey, this is what I think, these are the facts, this is what I've dug up, and this is also what I think, here's my commentary, and here you go. So I think we should be careful how we beat up one another on what decisions we make. You know, because there are people making decisions every day that you and I may not agree with or we may agree with, but those are personal decisions. I think that Gillum's policies are going to be better for Floridians than Ron DeSantis. That's just what I believe. All right. So I don't know. I just see a lot of people with a lot, it's a lot of animosity towards others. Say, we can't vote the lesser of two evils. And I get it, man. I get it. And I walked the talk, man. I walked the talk in 2016. But I'm going to look at each scenario. I'm going to look at each race, and I'm going to look at the people that are going to be hurt if the other candidate gets in who doesn't do or whose policies won't impact the people in a positive way like that I'm looking for, right? So I'm going to look at that, and that's sort of like my responsibility because, like I said, I don't think I influence a whole lot of people, but I influence some people, at least somewhat, and that's a responsibility. That's something I got to carry. Now, when you carry that type of responsibility, because you do actually have a platform, you got to make hard decisions. Once again, yeah, I would love for Medicare for All to be the rule of the day. I would love for no PAC money to be the rule of the day. All right? I would love for ending mass incarceration to be the rule of the day. There are things I want for this country. There's things I want for my friends, my family, my extended friends, my extended family, my wolf pack, all my people. There are things I want. I think that we have to start fighting for, and we do fight for it. But when you're looking at two people, and one is, private prison money all day. One supports like fracking. One is like, NRA'd man. One is just now like, climate change? Oh, yeah. But like for the whole time they were in Congress, they voted against the shit as if they didn't believe in climate change. When you look at somebody like that, you don't want them to be, you don't want them to be governor. I don't want them to be governor of my state of Maryland. Okay? And right now we have a governor's race coming up. So anyway, that's why I stand on it. I support your decision of who you're going to choose. I do. I just think that Gillum is a far bridge better. He's a far amount better. He's much better candidate and has much more policies that I agree with than Ron DeSantis. So therefore, whether he supports Medicare for all to the extent I want him to, or if he associates with Cory Booker or whoever he associates with, that'll be something we deal with, right? But I cannot just say, screw Gillum and bring in DeSantis and let DeSantis just walk through. Not saying I'm going to stop him anyway, but you understand my point. It's about my ethics, about what I believe and the people who I think it will impact. So that's how I look at it. I don't hold it against anybody who says I'm not going to support Gillum. I'm not going to beat you upside the head with, what about all these people and think about that. I'm not going to do all that. I'm sure you've thought about that. I just think that Gillum would be a better steward of a better democracy in Florida better on the environment, better on incarceration, better on environmental protections, better on fiscally social programs for poor people. Like so many things, so much better than that it's enough for me. It's enough for me. Now you got to decide if that's enough for you. All right, leave it at that. Now, if you want to check out my video on Gillum versus DeSantis, the first debate, it's on my YouTube channel. Please go check me out. I'm Tim Black TV, Tim Black Show, or just Tim Black. You'll be able to find me there. And that video is posted up. So I hope you check that out. Something else happened today. Well, this happened today. Gillum, that debate was yesterday. But a football player, and I've been around long enough to remember when this happened, right? His name is Rae Carruth. He played for the Carolina Panthers. He just got released from jail because he hired a man to kill his baby mama, the mother of his child, his ex-girlfriend, because she was carrying his baby. He did 19 years, 18 years, something like that. He was released today. And there's been a lot of conversation about this. And I'm going to do a video on it. The only reason why Rae Carruth is out is because they didn't charge him with second-degree murder. They charged him with first-degree murder. And since he did not pull the trigger, the jury wouldn't give him first-degree murder. But they gave him these other charges that culminated to almost 20 years behind bars. They should have charged him with second-degree murder. They should have made that an option. Should have charged him with both, right? The bar for first degree, they say they didn't think they met it because they had the person who pulled the trigger. So that's the reason for that. I feel like he should have spent his life in jail. That's just how I feel about it. I see some horrible comments out there like, hey, leave him alone. He paid this dude his debts to society. The man killed his ex-girlfriend, man. While she was carrying his child. Child has brain damage. Survived and has brain damage. I can't think of a worse crime. I mean, I can't think of on par bad crimes, but that's pretty bad as far as crimes go. And I find it's despicable, man, that we got people out there who would who make it like Rae Carruth doesn't deserve the wrath of the public. Rae Carruth deserves the wrath of the public, and then some. Now, I know there are other killers who didn't get time. I can think of a lot of them. I've always felt George Zimmerman deserves life in prison. The officer that shot Tamir Rice, for example, deserves life in prison. The officers who gunned down John Crawford deserve life in prison. In my opinion, that's how I look at it. But that does not change what Rae Carruth did. All right? And just because they didn't get life in prison doesn't mean I'm okay with Rae Carruth. Get it? Our justice system is jacked up. We know that. But let us not become the thing we hate when we change what we believe or we try to modify what's in our hearts, right? It's sort of like retaliate against a system that we know isn't just. Like, right is right, wrong is wrong. And when we go down the road of, well, if you want to lock up Zimmerman, don't lock this guy up. These are false equivalencies. Both deserve to be locked up. Both deserve life in prison. But I'm going to do a video on it. I'm going to do a video on it. So guys, look, this is just where I'm at. You know, you can be looking at things the way you do. I'm sure in the comment section people will let their feelings be known, you know. and I'm a person who advocates for criminal justice reform. I'm one of those people that advocates for reducing sentences, and also finding people a pathway back to a life and getting them trained and getting them job opportunities. Like, I believe in that so strongly. I believe that must be done. But justice must be done too. All right, so I'm going to go to the next thing. Now, I need somebody's help on this, because one of the things I see a lot of is some people really fixated, really focused, like a laser focused on everything the Democrats do. I mean, everything. And oblivious to what Republicans do, and oblivious to what Trump does. Like, they act as if none of that shit matters. I don't know how you make that work. And I'm starting to think people are funded by somebody. Like, who's paying these people to ignore? Look, this is something I thought about, like, I think it was Saturday or Sunday while I was cleaning up this studio. The Democrats lie to us all the time about what they're going to do for black people, for instance. How they're going to, fight, for criminal justice reform, and we're going to, end redlining, or we're going to, do all these things. And at the end of the day, not much really changes, right? That's part of the complaint and the critique that people have for the Democratic Party. And I agree with it 100%. What they say they're going to fight for, they don't always fight for. And when they do fight for it, it's not to the extent that we need, right? Can we agree? And that pertains to like money in politics. That pertains to bank deregulation. That pertains to war. Like, there's many things, right? My thing is, Republicans do the same thing. They use social issues like abortion. They've been talking about abortion and getting people to vote Republican for how long? Using, we're going to change it. We're going to criminalize abortion. They haven't criminalized abortion. They use that, though, to get votes. But it's like people only focus on the hypocrisy of the Democrats. I see hypocrisy on the right as well. It's like both are hypocritical. They use that. They're going to take away your guns. They're going to take away your guns. Ain't no guns been taken away. In fact, more guns were sold under Obama. More guns. They had a gun frenzy took place. So instead of them, they use guns to get votes, and they use abortion to get votes. They use transgender rights to get votes. They use gay marriage to get votes. Just like Democrats use so many mechanisms to get votes on the left. So both are hypocritical as hell. And I'm just having a little bit of difficulty understanding why some people never mention the reality that there is work to be done on both sides if we ever want a democracy. And even if we do start a new party, we got to be so careful. Or if you go with the Green Party, to make sure you root out the seeds of corruption, the seeds of bias and cronyism and nepotism and good old boy network or good old girl network or whatever that is, and racism that exists within those new parties. And don't tell me it's not there, because I already know, because I have contacts within all parties. So, I don't know, it's just like we get in a bubble and all we see is the dirt on our neighbor's house, but we don't see the dirt on our own roofs. And it's just an observation. So, I guess in relation to that, guys, I'm looking at Georgia. I'm looking at the race between Kemp and Stacey Abrams. And guys, I'm hearing about a lot of voter suppression. And some people are saying that it's not happening, that it's not accurate. There's no vote, that the voter suppression is being inflated in order to piss off black folks so that maybe they'll go out and vote more. Like, black people are being manipulated into believing over 300,000 black folks have been knocked off the voting rolls or something like that in Georgia as a means to inspire them or motivate them, falsely, i.e. manipulate them into going to the polls. So I need someone's help in Georgia to kind of give me the lowdown, give me the 411, let me know exactly what's happening in Florida. I'm not Florida, I'm sorry, Georgia, all right? Because I'm not in Georgia. I wish I could find out for myself, you know, to be able to have a way to get there and kind of research it myself. But there's some things I don't feel comfortable just reading in corporate media to try to decide what's true and what's not. Hell, most things I don't feel comfortable with. I'm always like, even no matter what it is, if my source is corporate media, I'm always like trying to weigh the angle that they're coming from and what may be true, but what's being left out. Get what I'm saying? Anyway. You never really know, because if you're not on the ground, if you're not talking to people on the ground, if you don't know your sources well enough to vet your sources, where you can totally believe and trust everything they're saying, or that they're coming from an honest place. Once again, if you don't have the resources to send people there, then how do you really know this stuff? So anyway, what I've been hearing is disturbing in Georgia. Hey, I just need more information. When I get more information on it, you best believe I'm gonna shout loud as hell about it. And it has to happen soon, because the election's soon. Sick, bro. Sick. So anyway, guys, as you can tell, a little under the weather, a little tired. But I'm fighting. I'm fighting, y'all. I'm fighting. I want to thank everybody who tuned into the show tonight. Tell a friend, right, that the Tim Black TV show, we're going to continue to do what we're doing, but look for more video cuts, because the live streaming has been real spotty. And it's going to be leaving Facebook. It's going to be going to justinform.com. You can catch it still on YouTube. We're trying to up our game on the podcast. Now you can find us on Roku. And changes. That's the name of the game. Yeah, changes. So guys, let me check and see who's out there in the comment section, man. I want to appreciate you guys for hanging out, for being here. And yeah. All right, man. Well, some people say vote progressive or vote for no one. It's easy to say, I guess, if you don't need, I don't know, if you don't need reforms where you live, if you don't, I've always had a problem with people who tell black people not to vote. I've always had a problem with that. I think voting is important. Of course, we need election reform, big time. But I've never been comfortable telling people not to vote. Never been comfortable doing that. I just disagree with it fundamentally. Feel free to feel however you want to feel about it. To tell people not to vote, I think is not what I'm about. And once again, if that's how you feel free not to vote. It's like anybody who feels that way can do what they want to do. I don't feel that way, and I'm not going to use my platform to tell people not to vote. But I guess if you're an individual and you don't reach, 5 million people a month like I do, maybe you don't have that concern that you're actually influencing any of those people where they may be in a situation where, more prisons are populating their state, or less health care happens to the people there. Like, these are things I think about, and I think if you're not in a position where you influence large amounts of people or don't even have that concern, you just have a personal account on, say, YouTube, or a personal account on Twitter, and you got 100 followers, hell, you can say whatever you want. Your voice matters, but when you reach millions of people every month, it kind of changes things for me. That's just who I am. Maybe it wouldn't change anything for you. You'd be happy to tell people, hey, you can't get progressive. You can't find a progressive enough person, don't vote. and then they get, I don't know, they get a DeSantis or some bastard who comes in and he cuts Meals on Wheels, or he cuts child daycare. I don't know what the fuck. He cuts everything he can cut to give tax breaks, and then elderly people die, or kids go hungry, or more black people get locked up who don't get representation and forced to take fucking plea deals, and their lives are spent in cages. And you go, well, you know, we wanted a better candidate, so these people just have to suffer. And like, I don't feel good about doing that. I don't think that's the way. In fact, I know that's not the way for me. I don't agree with that. And I think that there are people who do agree with it. That's up to them, you know what I'm saying? But that's my reasoning. And that's what, I can live with that. Like I said, everybody's got to make their own decision about what matters to them. But all I know is, in a month I've had like 5 people hit me to tell me they need GoFundMes for operations to save their lives. And I don't feel good about saying, well, since I don't have who I want, I can't have no skin in the game, because that matters to me, you know? And I don't know if the person that they're going to vote for, if they have to vote for a person who's not as progressive as I want, if that's going to save a life. But it could impact. That's all I'm saying. It could impact it. So those are the type of things that I get. I guess if people wrote you, hey, Tim, could you tweet this? Because I'm dying. And my state's shit, it doesn't do X, Y, Z. I don't know, maybe that would influence you a little bit. That maybe you just can't say fuck the system because people are dying in it. I don't know. These are hard questions, man. It's like, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But one of the things I don't like are people who are not in that position, who, like, I get it. Like, presidents, I get presidents. I get a president not supporting a presidential candidate because you don't think that presidential candidate deserves your vote. I get that all day. First of all, half the time it don't fucking matter because of electoral college. Like, I live in Maryland. It didn't matter who I voted for. Hillary won that shit hands down. It did matter. But local races too? For real? Shit, that's the only politics that really matter for half of us. So, like, these are some things we're never going to agree on. I think there are always going to be people who disagree on it. I care about people, right? And everybody has a different strategy, I think. Not everybody, but some of us had different strategies. We differ in what we think is the right way to go. Now, I don't think I'd get out and fight for someone. I don't think I would canvass for someone. But the shit I seen in Florida, man, Florida is one state that I've had people on this show probably more than any other state. Maybe that's what it is. Like Debbie Wasserman, man, you don't know how hard it is for me. Debbie Wasserman Schultz has been someone who I've seen as a villain for the last 4 years. You know? An actual elected official who 90% of what she stands for I can't stand. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I got a hard time, man. I have a hard time with this. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm saying this is how I feel, and this is how I get through the night. You know what I'm saying? And you got to make your own decisions up, make your own mind up, and I don't want to demonize anyone based on what they think, right? Because who are we? We're just people with opinions, right? But but let me just say, I don't come to these decisions lightly. There's anyone who would be like, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is my pal. God damn, you have no idea how much that grates my nerves. Like how much that feels like a betrayal. Whew. Yeah, I mean, maybe you do know. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Hey, look, I already know there's people who disagree with me. Shit, man, there's people who disagree with everything I do. It don't, you know. If you do stuff publicly, people going to feel how they feel, man, you know. But, yeah. I mean, how could you be a governor of a state and don't believe in science? Like, I don't know, man. Like, how do you elect people that don't accept science is real? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the ramifications to live in a world where there are people who deny reality to the peril or detriment of good people, of kids, of plants, of animals, of all of us. And it's special interest money that's dictating it. And that there's people that vote them in anyway. Don't tell me every election's stolen. There's people voting in people that don't even believe in science. And the reason why they don't believe in science is because they're getting big checks from lobbyists. God damn it, money out of politics. Money the hell out of politics, right? Man, I wish I had all the answers. I still got a lot of questions. Yo. You know, I was complaining about the lack of diversity on the left when it comes to, you know, really kicking ass and really developing, you know, broad base of supporters, broad reach. And then I saw, now this is a side note, guys. I'm switching off. Because we ain't going to agree about what people should do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't going to agree on if people should throw their vote in the trash, or if they should vote because they don't want this motherfucker, like, right, you know? We're right back to 2016 again. But I'm talking local scale. I'm not talking about presidents, right? But anyway, I want to switch gears because I don't think we're ever going to agree on that. There's some people who don't agree with that, you know? And I get why you don't agree, you know what I'm saying? You know, I probably, you know, depending on what state you're talking about and who's up, maybe I'd agree with you, you know, but it depends. I just know the aquifer, the blue and green algae shit that's in Florida, that my people have been telling me about for 3 years now. This shit bothers me, and something's got to be done about that. Okay. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I watched a debate today between Jesse Lee Peterson. Anybody know who Jesse Lee Peterson is? And David Pakman. And I've been critical of David Pakman. I'm going to remain critical of David Pakman. Jesse Lee Peterson. This guy's a complete jackass, though. I think he's just a troll, is all Jesse Lee Peterson is. But during the debate, a part I saw anyway, Jesse Lee Peterson said he's going to be a politicon. So this was before politicon, because that was this weekend, right? Last weekend. And I said, wow, a conservative who doesn't know issues at all is at politicon. Not a part of a big network. And it just further underscores my point about the lack of diversity on the left given these opportunities. I mean, anybody who knows who Jesse Lee Peterson is, I think if you know who I'm talking about, you kind of will understand my point. If you don't know who I'm talking about, then you're like, what the hell is Tim talking about? But if you know who Jesse Lee Peterson is, I've been on this show once to debate him on some issues, and the guy was horrible, man. And I'm saying, like, he's good if you just want comedy. Like, unintentional comedy, he's cool. If you want unintentional comedy in a political standpoint, well, cool. That's cool. Like, if you just want to laugh at somebody, not know any issues, and say really corny shit that makes no sense from a policy standpoint, well, cool. Watch Jesse Lee Peterson. But what I'm saying is, that fucker is he was at Politico, the Politicon event. And I'm like, where's my invitation to this shit? So this is the type of thing I'm complaining about. Because at Jesse Lee Peterson, this mofo, conservative, free reign, opportunity, galore. The left for black folks, women, where's that shit at? You got to be connected to TYT or Ring of Fire or some other shit. And I think it just underscores my beef. So look at that. Tell me about, Tim, you're just not looking at it the right way. Look, Jesse Lee Peterson is garbage. You understand? Garbage. This guy running around saying Trump is the great white hope. That's his argument. Trump is the great white hope. It's based on no facts at all. No research at all. Anyway. All right. Anyway, guys. It just pissed me off, man. It pissed me off. Oh, man. I also want to cover this ad that went out in Arkansas where it sounded like Diamond and Silk did it. I didn't get a chance to do this because Saturday I had to undo all this equipment and clean up all the water and shit. And I wanted to do that video about the Arkansas robocall or whatever from the Republican pack out there or whatever for a Republican politician where they were saying if you vote for the Democrats, you're voting for lynching, because they'll let you get convicted for rape without being convicted for rape or something, like crazy ass. So I'm going to do a video on it because, I don't know what's wrong with the world or the country or politics, but there's shit that should not be. I mean, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. It's like, what antiquated, what old ass, like what corny. And they did this ad, like if you vote for a Democrat, you're voting for black people to get lynched. That was the ad, yo. So I'm just telling you the bullshit that's. Uli, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy as hell. It doesn't make any damn sense. That's what I'm trying to tell you. None at all. It's sort of like, people talking about, people who didn't have a problem with Saudi Arabia until they killed Khashoggi, right? Now it's, oh no, because, Saudi Arabia, like, motherfucker, where you been? Where you been? Why haven't you cared up till now? Well, I know why you haven't cared, because you don't really know, because you watch, corporate media, they don't tell you anything. So that's where people been. They've been watching, news where they won't tell you what's happening. So that's what's up. Damn it, where these people been? Oh, all these people get together in March. Where were you when this shit was happening under Obama? Well, they didn't know because no one talked about it. Same thing happens now. We like, what's up? Yemen's an atrocity. People are starving. The babies are starving to death in Yemen. Kids are being killed. Men and women, and men and women like to live too. They're being killed. Innocent civilians in Yemen. We help fund the guns for the shit, okay? And we're cool with it because there's Saudi Arabia behind it. But let one guy get killed, we're like, oh no, we got to do this shit. So it's enough. All of it's so screwed up. Like, there's so much hypocrisy. There's so many things that could piss you off and frustrate you to no end. You know what I'm saying? It's so much, right? Yeah. Talk about a lesser of two evils. We can't even get our media to report horrific nature of our so-called allies, man. The shit they do. We're worrying about a state, a state race. So, but I still want somebody's help on Georgia, man. I want to find out more about what's going on in Georgia. I got to find out more about Georgia. All right? Environmental Coffee House says they got a person, the IPCC report, in climate change. I have the perfect guy for you to talk to, Antonio Reed. His vids are on ECH. Give it up for ECH. ECH from the Environmental Coffee House. And thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you, my friend. Yo, check this out, guys. Anybody who's watching who's a Patreon is the best route to go, because Patreon doesn't take as much from people who give to the show, right? Who support the show. So if you're already a Patreon, cool. Please stay a Patreon. But if you were like never trusted Patreon, because a lot of people don't trust Patreon. People just looking for convenience. Well, you can become a member of Tim Black's Wolfpack right on YouTube. So if you go to my channel, right, somewhere on my channel, you'll see a button that says join. It's $5 a month. You get special content that I'm going to upload to Patreon and upload to my Wolfpack members here on YouTube if you're a member. So just want you to know that's available. I'd appreciate you guys who've already joined up. More content to come. I put out a clip today. I'll be putting out clips sporadically, and just trying to give you special content. So most of the videos will probably be on the fly, talking about issues that I won't put out in a regular video. Just try to give people something special. Something special for being members of the show. What else? Is that it? Let's see, man. Let's check the comment sections. Let me see what's up before we Prometheus says thanks for that. Prometheus says he loves the new background. Okay, so hey, thank you, Prometheus. You know what? I've had this background for years. In fact, I debuted it like 3 years ago. I just switched up at some point because, you know, it's all green screen and shit, and I could never get green screen to work effectively. But I finally got green screen to work pretty effectively. It looks pretty good. It ain't perfect, but it's pretty good. And I can still do it. I can do it live, and I don't have to, you know, shoot the video and key it out. I can just shoot it live. So I've gotten better at this, and that's why I'm using this background. So thank you. I appreciate you, Prometheus. Taj Marie said, Tim, you need to look at Khashoggi. Like, I know, I'm not going to say I don't know it. I'm not going to say I know everything about Khashoggi, Jamal Khashoggi, but I do know that his writing, right? He was writing for the Washington Post for only a year, right? And yes, I do know he's written most of his work in Arabic, and that it's of a slightly different nature than what it was published in the Washington Post. Like, I know that, right? I know he supported, for instance, bin Laden. I know that he was support of Saudi Arabia. In the past, he's written different types of writing for many years, and some of it was in support of these murderous regimes. I get it, right? That I know. I'm not saying we should start World War III because of this guy. What I'm saying is the way the media is exploiting it is as if we don't have enough issues that we could take or hold Saudi Arabia to a standard or take them to task for other atrocities that they've committed. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know, I put out a video or something. I put a video or did a live stream on Khashoggi where I expressed that. But I forget, like, some people haven't seen my stuff. I don't know why they don't get notifications. But yeah, I'm aware, and I'm sure there's probably even more. Like, I watched a video from someone from Telesur that were doing a report on Khashoggi and, like, sort of illuminating these facts about him. That he's not this poster child who was just fighting for freedom of speech and freedom of expression. That there was more to it than that. That being said, if what is said to have happened to him is true, I don't support that shit. All right? Regardless to if he supported bin Laden, regardless if he's written some stuff that was a damn near support of radical Islamist terrorists or whatever, if that's what you're saying, I don't support him getting his finger chopped off being, beheaded and tortured to death. Like, I don't support that, right? That's just who I am, right? That's just who I am. So, I wouldn't support that for you either. I wouldn't support that for anyone. I don't agree with torture. I don't agree with waterboarding. That's why, like, for Kavanaugh, guys, for Kavanaugh, what Christine Blasey Ford said he did, that was beside the point. That was like a cherry on top. For me, him supporting torture, him helping the Bush administration take our privacy, right? Destroy our ability to be U.S. citizens and have certain protections under the law. That was enough for me not to want him to be judged. Like, I didn't need the extra. But see, they didn't talk about the extra, right? Because that Patriot Act that Kavanaugh helped write, most of the senators who are there debating or questioning him supported that shit. They supported the Patriot Act. So that's the reason why no one talked about Kavanaugh's real record. Because they didn't want to bring up the fact that a lot of his unpopular stances were supported by the majority of our senators. So that would have put a whole different spin on it, wouldn't it? So, like, yeah, I'm aware of some of these things. I'm not saying I'm the best at these things, but I care. I care enough to read some stuff, and I try to read as much as I can. One-man show, editing, shooting, doing a lot of shit that I do, but there's some things I try my best to know a little bit of background on. And Kavanaugh was like one of those things. So similar to Khashoggi, there's more to the story than what the media amplifies. You get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? Like, how many people know one of the main reasons why they push Avenatti is because it's working. So the lawyer for Stormy Daniels is getting a lot of amplification. You know why? Because he's a fundraising dynamo, right? He goes into these small rooms in places like Beverly Hills and like New York around the ultra-rich Democrat donors, and they give lots and lots of money to the tune of millions and millions of dollars, okay? That's why Michael Avenatti is everywhere. It's not because, oh, he's this great guy, he's so charismatic. Well, it's because the donors respond to him. And as we all know, in the Democratic Party ain't nothing more important than how well you fundraise. Like, fundraising is above everything. And that's not just the Democratic Party. There was a report that I looked at a couple years ago, guys. Didn't it say something like 70, 80% of the time a congressperson is spent fundraising? Like, wasn't it like a crazy number? Like 70% of their time was spent fundraising. Not working on bills. Half the time they don't even read the bills. Then somebody else read the bill. They don't even read the shit. They don't even know what they're voting on half the time. They just worked out a deal to vote yes or no, yay or nay. Like, so fundraising is prolific for both parties, and that's where you get gravitas in both parties. How much money you can bring in for the party. So, give it up for that. Give it up for that, y'all. Give it up for that. Give it up for that. And I'm not saying it's a good thing. It's a horrible thing, actually. It's horrible. It's horrific, right? It really is. It's horrific. Man. Mars Pluto says, it's sad that the bad guy only goes to prison in the movies. Yeah, that's yeah. It's sort of like me, man. Like, Mars is sort of like the reason why I don't support the death penalty. Like, do you know when I realized that, how I felt to find out that only certain people get executed in this country? For the most part. The poor, the mentally challenged in some way, the minority, the likelihood of them being executed for a crime that someone else of another group or class commits is staggering. And when you know facts like that, it's like it changes who you are. Like it changes how you see the world. When you know things are lopsided, right? But when you find out that this person can commit the same crime and have the same rap sheet as this person, but this person will get death, the needle, feel me? And this person will get life. And it's not because prosecutors are crazy and racist. It's not because judges want it that way. It's because the jury said, I relate to him more. Maybe we should give him a chance. And him, they said, get him out of here. Kill that guy. Get what I'm saying? And like, once you know that, once you know it, once you realize it, accept it, it changes who you are, man. It changes how you see the world. And you will never go back. I will never not know that. How deep racism and bigotry go in the U.S. It ain't just, hey, man, license registration, don't move. It's also other shit like life and death as well. So, and there's studies like that all over the place. So yeah, I wish the bad guys went to jail in real life too. And hell, man, Obama ran on locking up the bankers. I read, now this is a couple years ago, like right after, I think I read it in like 2013. One banker went to jail. One banker went to jail. And it wasn't even a high-level banker. Wasn't even a high-level banker that went to jail. Excuse me. All of a sudden, they became too big to fail when it was time to do the business. When you were actually in power. When you're in power, you got the House, the Senate, you can basically do what you want to do. One banker goes to jail. Like all these great ideas, all these tough ideas happen when you have no power. And then when you have power, it's like, well, wouldn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have power, it's like, yeah, let me at him. We're going to do this. We're going to change this. We're going to fight. Then when you get power, it's like, well, we should just be nice and we could all work together. So like it's a total switch. So like I get why people be pissed at the Democratic Party. I do. I'm pissed too. I'm pissed at both parties. I'm pissed at both of them. Yeah. John Jewell, the U.S. is basically energy independent these days. Fuck the Saudi oil. That's why oil from DAPL was destined for the open market, not domestic sale. Don Hooligan, John Jewell. Oh, wow. Oh, well, I don't know if that's true, man. I've heard that we are energy independent. I mean, like me, I'm always, I like the Green Party. I had Jill Stein, Jamu Baraka, Margaret Flowers, all on this channel several times. Kenneth Mejia in California, Constance Goodell Newton. Shout out to Constance Goodell Newton. Go support Connie. Support Constance Goodell Newton, running for governor of Ohio. Go support her. Go support her. I support the Green Party, man. There are people in the Democratic Party I support who I think had their hearts in the right place. I don't support the party, though. Get it? There may be Republicans. There may be libertarians who hearts are in the right place that I need to become aware of. People need to tell me who these people are because I'm not locked into a party identity type of thing. I want to look at everyone. I want to treat everyone, with that respect. That it's about the policy and about the person, not about the party. And we got to live up to that. We got to make that real. That got to be our ethos going forward. That's what I believe. But it's not right now. Not for a lot of us. I don't know if that's ever going to change. And I would like to be a part of making that change. Right? Talking about fracking. Talking about fracking. Yeah. Howie Hawkins, GLE for New York. I'll give a shout out. Hey. Howie Hawkins, GLE, New York. Shout out. Shout out. All right. So, Tim Black's Wolfpack and Team Black, you guys are great. Thank you for tuning in to this show. I know it's a little bit different than what I usually would do, but I don't take days off. At least I try not to. If I got any strength, I'm gonna go and try to rock the mic and give you something. So look to new content coming out over the next couple of days, next 24 hours. New content on a variety of issues. Please give all of those videos an opportunity, a chance. View them, share them if you enjoy them, or if you find them intriguing. All right. Yo, last thing. What's up with Netflix? Netflix has been getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar. They've been using bogus-ass thumbnails about movies playing on racial similarities. Like so, when I'm looking, right, because, you know, they try to tailor it to each account, right? So when I'm looking at what's available in the stream or whatever, right, in the profile, they'll show me a movie that has, and they had the thumbnail have a black person in the thumbnail, even if that person's only on the screen for like 2 minutes. Because they say, oh, he'll watch this if he think black people in it. He a minority. He wants to see himself. So we're gonna put a thumbnail on with 2 black people in it. And when you watch the movie, their part will be like this. Hey, you need a pen? Yeah, thanks, man. And that'll be it. They won't even be in the movie no more. But they use that as the thumbnail. The black guy going, hey. Netflix dirty, man. Well, I didn't know that Netflix is still not profitable. So, like, they're trying to get the profitability, right? Similar to, I think, Amazon. Is Amazon profitable? Like, they worth a lot of money on paper, but they spend so much money. So Netflix, they say, is going to be profitable soon. Well, I tell you, no more donations. Dems act like Rambo when they run for office. Then when they get in and out of office, they act like Urkel. Did I do that? Right, that's what I'm saying. No more donations. They talk tough, man. They talk like, you know, they gonna beat somebody up. You know, like those guys who talk like they're gonna fight, and then they just want you to hold them back to keep them from fighting the whole time because they really don't want to fight. You know, or when we were kids, we didn't shoot each other, we didn't stab each other, we'd actually fight hand to hand, and no one would really get hurt because we weren't that good. But you stand in each other's face like this, and your mother, will do something. No, you do something. Well, hit me first. Well, hit me first. Like, that's the Democrats and the Republicans, right? And but at the end of the day, no one swings, right? And it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. It's just, man, we are being taken for a ride, man. A ride. The problem is the Democratic Party has the policies that I most agree with. But their execution is bogus as hell. All their execution is bogus. I believe in health care for all. I believe in a higher minimum wage. Companies can afford it. For companies that can afford it. Not every company can afford it. I know my company can't afford it. I know that shit. So, you know, of course there are companies who can't afford it. They should not be subjected to the same criteria as other companies. All right? You got to hit a certain threshold. All right? But, yeah, man, that's the problem. Policy-wise, the Democrats are closer in policy. But in action, oh, they leave a lot to be desired, baby. Damn, they leave a lot to be desired. Come on, man. So that's what's up. So that's my conundrum. That's my problem, right? That's what I carry. So I know these things. Everybody say, get off the Democrat plantation. And what my man Bishop Swan say? Because they want you to go into the Republican concentration camp. Go. No. Man, you guys, you got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run. John Jewell said, I'm so goddamn tired of winning. I'm glad I'm old. Give it up for John Jewell. Someone sent me a recommendation. I think it was my man Eli. Yes, it was Eli. Eli sent me a recommendation, and let me just voice this to you guys. You let me know what you think. Because we have phone problems from time to time, Eli was saying something I should do is give people the opportunity to call in and leave a message that I will play on the air if selected. That way people don't have the pressure of being live, because you know when you live, things go wrong. You lose track. At least if you were leaving a message, you could re-record. You know what I'm saying? Re-record over your message and then save it if you liked it after you played it back, right? So, Eli, my friend Eli, give it up for Eli. Eli said, Tim, won't you allow people to call in and leave messages? That way you can better manage, and always the calls will get played because you already have them and you just hit play. So guys, I want to let you guys know about this option, and I'm going to put together a poll. And Tim Black's Wolfpack, especially guys, Tim Black's Wolfpack, you guys keep this show going. I definitely want to know what you think about this, and look for a poll on this matter, on this topic. Okay. All right. It's an interesting idea, man. I tell you, I got great people who back the show, who support, who call up, who help out any way they can. I want to thank you again, all my moderators, all my friends, those who have been with me through thick and thin. Lately, it's been a lot more thick than thin, but thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep speaking truth to power. Look, even if we disagree on something, if I know your heart's in the right place, that's all I need. We ain't got to agree on everything. We don't have to. But we got to have our hearts in the right place. Please, guys, please recognize that some people are jealous and some people have an axe to grind. There's a lot of dirty stuff that happens in independent media. All right? So please keep that in mind when you're out here dealing with these people. Realize that there's a lot of competition, a lot of competitive nature amongst these people, man. So I try not to let that get in, filter into what we do here. But please don't walk around oblivious thinking it's everything kumbaya and thinking that everybody's just, come on, guys. Come on, man. You don't think it exists in all things. It's the damn system. So we gotta break the system to fix the system. Damn, wasn't that break the system? Wasn't that Abby Martin? All right, I'm gone, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Much love to you. And with that, guys, don't forget, find me on Roku. It's Tim Black TV. Please go do that. My Roku people there, they got my back. I got your back. I love you. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. All right, so check this out, guys. YouTube has a new thing they're rolling out, right? But whoa. This might actually be good, though. It might be, right? Might be good for you, might be good for me. Good for both of us. It's called memberships. Oh, come on, man. Is that really necessary? All it means is that you are now officially a part of what's going on. You officially support what you already watch. And you got Hulu, you got Netflix, right? You got Amazon Prime, you got, man, you might even have cable. Listen, here on the Tim Black Show, we do something other channels don't do. We really get creative. We try to tell our story with comedy, with entertainment, but we also try to keep it as real as possible. We're not afraid to talk about tough subjects. We call it like we see it. About 6 years ago, I started this channel, and the whole idea was news for people who can't stand the news. To become a member today, and if you do that, listen, it's only $4.99 a month. You get perks such as, hey, special content nobody else is gonna get. Because see, if you're a member of this show, you family. So family, we say things to each other we don't tell the rest of the world. It's a community. Also, we're gonna have emojis and badges. Loyalty badges show how long you've been a member so people know in the community this person's been around for a while or this person's new, show them some love. We also got emojis for statements and sayings that we say a lot, like sprinkle some facts on. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. So anyway, listen, become a member. You never know what's going to show up or happen on the Tim Black TV show video. Anything can happen, right? You ain't expect that, right? Do it today, become a member. And if you can't become a member for some crazy reason, I don't know, maybe you already support so many shows you already watch, I get it. Just keep me in mind and just know I'm going to continue to put out all my content. I hope that you change your mind, become a member. You'll find a link somewhere around here where you can do that. Do that today, all right? I got nothing but love for you until we talk again. Remember, don't you let nobody take your cornbread and sprinkle some facts on. Thanks for watching. Oh, and share this with a friend.